Hi, my name's Phil. I like to talk about politics, and we've got a live one here. I'd like to discuss a tweet brought to my attention from a Brexiteer. It wasn't a Brexiteer that brought it to my attention. The post is from a Brexiteer aimed at an anti-Brexit celebrity here in the UK. And it exposes what we would, I suppose, a few years ago have called the ugly side of Brexit. Now it's all that's left of it, as all the potentially nobler aims have evaporated. But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news and politics, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification icon. So here's a thing from, as I say, a Brexit supporter or someone given a good impression of being such a creature. I'll read it out. It is to Terry Christian, who, as I say, is a minor celebrity here in the UK. Seeing the likes of you crying and whinging, I genuinely don't care if we're poorer, as long as the likes of you are dragged kicking and screaming out of your beloved EU. I just want to win now, and I would happily see the country burn as long as Remainers get burnt too. Enjoy, no deal. And there it is. It used to be, see, we were going to be richer, weren't we? We were going to have more freedom. Then that went away last year. They've stopped arguing that. Now, of course, we're going to be poorer. No one ever said we weren't going to be poorer, of course. But we were going to be poorer for the sake of sovereignty. Well, this is now the next stage, isn't it? We're going to be poor, and I don't care about that as long as it pisses you off. And ironically, he's directing his or her bile towards someone who is actually going to be shielded from the harm caused. I imagine, I don't know Terry Christian's personal circumstances, but he's been famous since I was a teenager. So I imagine, he's put a bit away. He is very likely to be fine, after Brexit, but has a social conscience and is concerned for those who have no protection from it. And someone, as I say, showed me this tweet, to Terry Christian. And all it shows to me is it's all that's left of Brexit. Their arguments have been shot down. The very idea of Brexit is being exposed. We're being ridiculed around the world, even in America, where they have enough embarrassing troubles of their own. I mean, this is from the Washington Post, being plastered all over social media in the last day. So all that Brexiteers really have now is their hate. I mean, Brexit was going to provide us with freedom, even though no Brexiteer could name a single constraint that the EU ever subjected me to. Funnily enough, I've been asking that question for quite a while. And I did actually get a response from someone a few weeks ago on this question. It's usually met with silence. And they told me, it's not about your freedoms, Phil. Not about your freedoms. All right, thanks. That's cleared that up. Great, nice one. It was going to mean better trade deals, and all signed the day after we leave the EU. The day after we've left the EU, that's it. They're all being placed. That's it. Well, we left months ago, and all we have is a few continuity agreements with countries who, collectively, as a percentage of our total trade, is in single figures. So now Brexit is no longer about freedom because we know we're losing freedoms, and we haven't got any extra ones to benefit from. It's no longer about wealth because we've become poorer. It's about laughing at their fellow countrymen who are being pushed screaming off the cliff, even if it means they have to go over that cliff and plummet into the abyss themselves. They are Gollum, rejoicing as he falls into the lava because he has the ring at last that ruined his life and made him miserable. That's all it is. Brexit has been broken down into its constituent parts of nihilistic self-mutilation. It's not patriotic, because patriotism is a love for your country. This is just pure hatred. They hate British citizens and want to see us suffer. All of their bile is directed towards British citizens. They named the British Parliament as their enemy. They named the most senior British judges as their enemy. The British media, British schools, British doctors, British nurses. They hate the British police. When you make out the list of all the British institutions that these people have expressed a deep and uncompromising hatred for, they've named them as their enemy, there is really no conclusion that may be drawn other than that these people hate Britain and are the enemy of Britain itself. Because there's nothing left of Britain that they haven't expressed hatred for. In which case, they'll be pleased to know that Britain as a political entity is being put at serious existential risk by their actions, and the Union flag that they keep waving around while expressing hatred for everything it represents will no longer exist if they remain in the position to keep winning. That's all there is to it. Not that this comment represents all Brexit supporters right now. Of course not. Of course not. Just the ones who are ahead of the game. There are still those who get all misty-eyed about the great trade deals that we're going to be doing and about all the jobs that it's going to create. But in a few months' time, when we leave the transition period safety net, they'll be left with three options ultimately. One, they can continue to believe that the promised land is just around the corner. A little more patience and they can be frolicking with the unicorns and the sunlit uplands. Of course we had to do more than just threaten a no deal, Phil. We couldn't just threaten a no deal. They didn't take us seriously. Of course we had to go through it. You know, don't worry. At this point we'll have shown that we were serious and the world will be lining up to deal with us. I wonder how long that will last as 2021 rumbles on and turns into 2022. And then that rumbles on. Ever onwards, ever downwards. The second option is to accept that it was all bollocks. As many have already done so without needing to get quite this far. They will accept that Brexit was the wrong decision because they won't be able to say anymore, well, you never know. No one knows what's going to happen after Brexit, because we will. We'll be there. And they'll accept this was the wrong decision. And they will join the cause for the government to turn itself around and at the very least negotiate a close relationship once more with our neighbours, even if rejoining is not feasible or not wanted in the short term. And the third option is to adopt the tone of the author of this tweet, which is what the topic's on, to claim that Brexit was only ever about hearing your fellow compatriots' despair. They wish to inflict misery, and the only power that was ever given to them was to inflict it upon their own country. Well, so be it. That'll teach Daddy for having a go at me for setting fire to that cat. And we must prepare ourselves for more of this third type of behaviour, even though, as I say, not all Brexit supporters will adopt it. But because some will, it will inevitably increase. How could it not? The government will do nothing to address it, nor the media, for whom division in society works well for both of them. So this response is not the first of its kind, and it won't be the last. But it is what it is. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Hope you found the video interesting. If you did, don't forget to click the like button. If you'd like to support the channel further, please also click the Patreon link for details. And until next time, I'll see you later.